Welcome everyone to this insightful panel discussion on innovating the future of admissions, the role of AI in student selection and engagement. In today's fast-paced world, technology has become a driving force in transforming the landscape of education. One area that is rapidly evolving is the admissions process, where artificial intelligence is playing a pivotal role in reshaping how institutions select and engage with students. Today, a panel of experts will dive into the ways how AI is revolutionizing admissions, addressing both the opportunities and the challenges that come with implementing these advanced technologies. To begin, let me take a moment to introduce our distinguished panelists, each of whom brings a unique perspective and a wealth of experience to today's discussion. Joining us today is Mr. Dhaval Gaud, the head of admissions, domestic and international at University, Gujarat, a pioneer in international admissions who has successfully recruited over 5K international students from 60 plus countries and 10K national students across India. With a strong background in electronics and an MSc in marketing, Mr. God has also published several research papers on student satisfaction in higher education. He brings a wealth of experience in international affairs and higher education, having visited 45 countries and is a certified field teacher. Medical professional. We welcome you to the panel discussion, sir.
Thank you very much, Vishali. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Also, we are joined today by the co-founder of Gavitas AI, Mr. Srivastava. We welcome you to the panel discussion, sir.
Thank you, Rishali, and looking forward to this very interesting discussion with Mr. Dhaval and yourself.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to the discussion.
So let's start by the opening keynote segment. So my first question goes to you, Mr. Sir, that how is, according to you, AI currently shaping the admission process, and what trends should institutions be aware of moving forward? Like when we are talking about admissions, we can first let you, Mr. Dhaval, speak about it.
Okay, thank you very much for this question. So, I have been visualizing and analyzing these things that whenever we talk about the admissions process and the trends, firstly, what comes to a person who is doing admission is the demograph. So, first of all, it is very much important to understand that based on the demograph, we have to choose the kind of audiences what we have based on demograph and the social media trends which are actually existing in that particular demograph decides the path of admission and decides the kind of audience what we have to target. So, as an education institution, it is very important for me to have insights about the kind of trends happening in that demograph, the age group, the kind of content what is being published in that particular region. For an instance, if I have to talk about, let's say, a student is posting like a particular region, like students from, let's say, Andhra Pradesh. Students from Andhra Pradesh, they usually post more tech videos like based on AI, based on automobile, based on cybersecurity. So such kind of videos or content gives me an understanding that that particular demographic is more interested in the kind of programs like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and that really helps me to design my campaign. It helps me to actually make a decision based on the data that how much money I have to invest there in particular campaign. So this is one of the important insight which I always look for. Other than this, if you talk about the application process, it really helps when a student is like at its own convenience if they get all the information handy, particularly with the websites and the kind of chatbots what we are developing right now. Because whenever in non-business hours, the students they come for information, they are not like this generation is an Instagram generation, and probably I come from Facebook generation. So the Facebook generations, they are a little bit patient. They don't try to work on the real culture was not there. So we actually still look for those text and information, but the Instagram generation, they just simply swipe, swipe next, swipe the real side, the videos. So what happens is we have to deliver our content, we have to deliver our information in the same mode. And when we are delivering this kind of content, again, it has to be very interactive. It has to be very meaningful, because the attention span for this generation is hardly 5 seconds. If your content or video is not very catchy in those first 5 seconds, you're going to lose that particular client or customer or the audience. So it is very important what we are trying to deliver, and the communication has to be very effective and personalized on the top of it. Like if I give you an example, the branding what Coca-Cola did, Thanda matlab Coca-Cola. Like if you talk about ICICI Bank, there is a tagline, Nibhai Vada. So certainly this kind of things, this insights have come from the data what they have been working on. Similarly, admissions, you have to really work on the data, and you have to create the recall value for your audience, and that recall value is going to help you. So you have to first of all position your university's branding in such a fashion that the audience can always recall whenever they see you in the digital campaign, when they see your hoardings, and all these decisions. It's in short, I mean to say, is data driven decision model always helps compared to the kind of intuitive model what we usually used to follow, the traditional approach. So again, if I come to the point where if I have to really look into the kind of VR and AR, like if you talk about the VR and AR segment, uh, virtual reality for our audiences, if there are students, and augmented reality, the kind of experiences, the immersive experiences, what the students or the audiences are getting today. I'll just narrate an incident that I was into an exhibition before COVID. So before COVID, when I was in an exhibition in Dubai, the students who used to come to us for information, we used to deliver them brochures. We used to deliver them. We used to show them something on our laptop, like the video, audio, visuals, some campus tours. But post COVID, the situation has changed. Now I always carry my those VR headsets along with me, and I have also ensured that I have created a digital a game, probably with characters, where when they put on the headsets, they actually become a student character, and they can feel the university in the game mode. So this is the kind of digital space, and this is the kind of AR and VR technologies which are coming into picture. And trust me, students, they really like this kind of presentation, which is full of immersive experiences, 360-degree. What I think Gravitas AI is. I have gone through your website, and it feels that you are working in that direction, and it's just a matter of time when we actually integrate all of them in our admission portals or the CRMs what we are using currently.
I totally agree with that, and especially we have to understand, and it's very important point made that the user which is trying to receive the content, how they want to receive the content, that is very important. And this particular technology has got the power to compute and deliver that content in the shape and format they want. So to get to that, we have to understand and learn about the users, and that is where it is important to first engage. So there's a model like if you could talk about like learn and then deliver and then empower them. So engage, learn, deliver, and empower. So that is something which we need to follow, because we need to have like nice engagements, because this era is very different. If we are even if you're trying to implement technology for the larger benefit, we have to be wary that this generation is the generation which like consumes content like anything. So like 20 years before, like the content was not that much. We had like some things coming up on Facebook, and we used to look at it and see, okay, something new has come up, and that's fine. But these days, like a lot of immersive content, a lot of engaging content is flowing everywhere and anywhere. So to put your content in the right space in that particular that environment is a challenge, and that is where AI can come into picture, where we can have more personalized content delivered to engage people learn about how they're reacting to it, and then start developing our strategies to further do the marketing automations on top of it. Apart from that, there's also need to support the ecosystem which is trying to operate different things. So basically, this ecosystem which is operating with a lot of pressure, with from various students, various colleges have like numerous call centers, people trying to respond back on emails, people trying to respond back on phone calls, etc. And still the demand is more. So these tools can definitely help in sorting out those kind of issues, wherein we can provide the right kind of information through the right kind of channels at the right point of time, even if it's late, office out of office hours, in the language they want, and in the way the content needs to be delivered. So I think that is where the power of AI lies, and it can definitely work for the larger benefit of both students and the college ecosystem and the operations in the admissions process.
So that's very interesting point. I would like to take up that concerning the call center point, what you have discussed. Usually, currently, the call centers they are really, I mean, calling up the students. And what is happening right now? The people are really fed up with those audio calls. So the audience is always look for alternatives, like they look for WhatsApp chat, they
Yes.
look for Facebook Messenger chat. So this is where actually the AI comes into picture and the kind of chatbots what we have available, like the chatbots with a particular avatar. You can actually create an avatar for the chatbots. Some chatbots are text based, some are based on the voice based commands. Some of them might be hybrid, some of them are predictive, what kind of questions you can ask and they can deliver the content. So I think in days or years to come, I think we will have more kind of chatbots which will really help us to provide real time information, and it is going to be really helpful to the student because to deliver the kind of information and data what they expect in fraction of seconds is something what AI can deliver, and not the counselors who are usually putting on headsets in the call center and they try to deliver the content. Again, we can deliver the content only in the form of audio, and maximum you can send them videos. But the kind of expectation what today's audience require, and they can ask n number of questions. What is the placement ratio? Let me know about your university. What is the application process? What are the requirements? And more of it, they might ask you something like how many foreign national students you have, how many universities tie up do you have, and these are the kind of questions what they look for. Your startup, how number of startups in your university, how many of them have received the funding, and there can be numerous questions for the students. And most primarily, they look for what the university is offering to them. And aesthetics, yes. When I talk about today, if you step into any university and you don't see good food courts or you don't see good facilities, then the students or the parents they really give a second thought before taking admissions. Because if when you are visiting a university today, they look for an overall development and not only development in terms of academics. So this is where actually AI can play a very big role, wherein you can provide this entire information in packets and in real time to the customers, even in non-business hours. And the beauty of technology is that even a student sitting across a different part of the globe can access this kind of information at his or her convenience at a click. So this is where I see the things are heading, and in I think Gravitas AI can definitely work a lot, as Mr. Srivastava was mentioning about that the pillars where they are working, engaging the students, delivering the proper information in proper type of modes what they are looking for. So I think in days to come, WhatsApp or the chat-based modes will be more in demand compared to the audio-based call centers what we are having currently.
I'll pick up that line from the last line because WhatsApp is very important. It will be very important in the
Yes.
scenario because they are pushing hard on the business side now. They have already done like the normal customer interactions or the people to people interactions, but they're pushing very hard, and they have got a very aggressive strategy in terms of implementation, making things easy for implementation as well. So day in day out, how we were experiencing initially, like there's a lot of difficulties in implementing those kind of bots with a lot of complexities coming into picture, but now they're making things easy. So sooner than later, because of the already the reach of the platform is great, so this will be a lot of leverage of that particular platform to utilize for conversations and other automations as well.
So yes,
Thank
and
you,
even that,
Mr. Rush and Mr. Dhaval. Yeah. No,
yeah,
no,
I
continue.
think we can move forward. We will continue with it. Yes.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
talk
sure.
about it.
So you both have already covered almost all the points in a single question. And yes, I completely agree that AI is indeed revolutionizing the admission process by automating application reviews. As Dhaval sir talked about how they predict student success, how they provide 24 by 7 student support and personalized engagement with prospective students. And yes, we can definitely say that AI-driven data analytics is helping us enhancing diversity and if we talk about the growing use of chatbots for student support, these are also the tools who continue to shape more efficient and inclusive admission strategies, as we have talked about it. Now, moving towards the next question. This question is for you, Mr. Dhaval. Like, what challenges do you see in your admission teams that you and your team faces, and how can AI provide solutions to streamline these processes?
This is very interesting question for someone who is associated with admissions from a decade. Now, if I talk about the challenges, particularly the challenges lies first of all in setting our admission process. Like whenever you set an admission process, you have to really do a very meticulous calculation about the human resource, what you are having, the budgetary part, the finance part. You have to also look into the markets, the kind of markets where you are trying to implement your admission strategies. And the last one, the cost per student. Usually, we all the universities, all the leading universities, they work on a cost per student model, where you have to actually strategize your entire admission process based on that particular. If I want to say, it's unit economics, right? That whatever you are trying to deliver, you have to ensure that you deliver in that cost, in that budget. However, if I talk about the challenges for smaller institutions, those with kind of a restricted budgets, it is AI plays a very crucial role where you have a limited manpower and you can increase your outreach activities significantly, and this is a very economic model according to me. Like if I talk about you have a smaller universities and colleges, they always face kind of challenges that we don't have big marketing teams and we don't have the kind of manpower what other like tier 1 cities universities have. So usually the colleges and the universities in the tier 2 and tier 3, this is an opportunity for you that if you have AI enabled admission process or AI enabled lead generation mechanisms, then trust me, we can significantly increase the number of admissions with the same kind of input cost what we have been doing right now. I would like to just give you an insight in one of the things, like whenever we work on the data, like whenever in admission processes, when we have a smaller team size, whenever we receive a data, we collect database from exhibitions, we collect database from school connect programs, we collect database from different consultants, different tuition classes. What we do with the data is there is a lot of data. It comes into lakhs and crores. So it is very important for us to actually create a funnel or actually create a stage or a process where this data is being properly addressed. Like whenever you have a data in such a large quantity with you, it is not possible for you to make your counselors or your telecallers to arrange those kind of calling sessions, what we call as cold calling. So you try to do a cold calling on those numbers, and to reach out more than 5 lakh or 10 lakh database, it's not that easy. You might require a team size of 200 plus telecallers working on daily basis, and that too is not going to yield better results. Coming to the WhatsApp blast or mechanisms, or the SMS or the text-based mechanism, this is where the beauty lies with AI. that in a fraction of minutes, your information reaches to multiple audiences. And when you have AI-enabled digital campaign and AI-enabled WhatsApp chat, actually what the technology does is, if a particular data is not correct, and you try to approach them from multi-channels, what they do is they try to fetch the data and try to update it. So what happens is there is a client on Facebook. You have one information of the target audience on Facebook, and the other information is available on, let's say, on some other platform. Then what these things do is they catch and they try to ensure that this is a particular audience, and they try to keep on updating the data. So I feel you can reach lakhs of database with a fraction of with a very fractional cost, rather I would say. And AI is the only way through which you can do the lead nurturing and the frequency of your contacts with the database. So I think this is where the most important challenge lies for today's admissions team. Other than the other kind of challenges we can discuss, but I want to hear it from Mr. Srivastava. What is his contribution to this challenge?
So definitely, like you painted a picture completely, and we are trying to bring our tools to get sorted in these areas. So we're like interactions we're trying to solve through multiple languages, with multiple channels. We are trying to connect everything together because ultimately, students or parents, if they are trying to reach out to the colleges, they should be hearing the same voice from every other place. So typically, what happens if there's someone is trying to call, and after a few days they call again, they might hear a different answer. The response might become a different. That's pretty human. So with AI tools, what we can do is we can keep it very consistent, specific, accurate, 24/7, and in the happen format we want to deliver. So we are also working on delivering different modes. So basically, if there's a requirement of something which is going in a template format, which is video format, or something which goes in a textual format, something which goes in picture format. So those areas also which we are eyeing up. It will take some time to get there, definitely with a lot of personalization, but we have got our eyes on that as well. In terms of automation, we have integrated the whole chatbot ecosystem. So all the chatbot digital assistants, whether it's an email bot, so we have developed an email bot which can respond back to all 2 emails. So we have to train it for a particular institution, and then all the emails can be responded. At certain point, when the chatbot feels that okay, I'm not able to respond that well, because things can go haywire, because we can develop solutions, but they're like people can write anything. So the best possible solution which you try to love is to cater to all those things which should be catered to, and also cater to like things which are not being catered to, but at least give some responses which are relevant, and then get back. So after a couple of emails, then that email bot assistant can pass that control back to our agent or human agent, etc. Similarly, we've got hybrid chat assistants. So we are trying to connect all these things to AI chatbots with hybrid agents or live chat agents coming into picture wherever the bot is thinking that okay, this is the area where I need to pass control to, or the person wants to have a chat with the human agent. So these are interactions getting automated, and all these systems which are being integrated together, these systems, since they're talking together, so we're able to generate a lot of insights, and everything is coming together in one shape and one format in one area. So there's a single dashboard where all the data is getting collected, whether it's leads, separate dashboards definitely, but omni-channel lead collection is happening, omni-channel registration collection is happening, omni-channel data about insights is happening. We'll be able to understand where the performance is going higher, where people are interacting more, whether WhatsApp assistant is being used more, or email assistant is being used more, when it is being used more, which channels are operating more efficiently, which channels are operating less efficiently, whether we need to push our efforts on. So that is where we're heading to. And then with these all data pipelines coming into picture, we can predict a lot of KPIs for different stakeholders. So our vision is to have stakeholder driven journeys and user driven journeys implemented in a shape and format where technology is trying to solve all the challenges for them.
Yeah.
So, anything you would like to add, Mr. Dhaval?
Yeah, I was just being at the technological end, at the developing edge as a developer. I would like to see how in future, if I want to like apply for my admission process as an engineer, then I wish that the boat would capture an entire video customized for me. I as an engineer in the campus of that particular university wherever I'm looking for. So this is the future technology which I believe in the next 2 to 3 years we should be having it. So I think you can answer it how fast we can have this kind of personalized videos.
Yeah, we are moving ahead in the personalization because see, like LLM models are now enriched enough so that they can generate these kind of content. But with technology which is being rolled out, things are generic. So we have to customize it to make it more specific to a particular sector, use case, department, and personalization. So that is the use case. So that use case needs to be solved. That will take a bit of time. While the technology has to get a bit more robust to get to that level. At the same time, in the hindsight, we are working on use cases. So when there's like a proper maturity of technology and the use cases coming together. So yeah, I think the kind of timeline you have set is about right in my understanding. But things can change exponentially because you never knew 2 years before that a chat GPT will come and disrupt.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you both, and thank you both of you for shedding light on these challenges. And thank you, Mr. Dhaval, for highlighting the hurdles the teams faces these days while managing large volumes of applications, ensuring diversity. And as you mentioned, there is a challenge related to unit economics also, and there is a challenge while they deal with prospective students, the challenges in the personalized communication. So, and I would also like to thank Mr. Aarsh for telling us the various features that how AI can offer powerful solutions by automating repetitive tasks, improving data analysis for better decision making, and providing personalized engagement at scale. So, ultimately, making the process more efficient and equitable, these tools will definitely help us in improving the future of education. So now let's shift our gaze and dive into a storytelling segment. So I would like to throw my another question, that what's a memorable instant where AI data insights transformed your approach to student recruitment or engagement, Mr. Dhaval?
Yeah, so this is again a very much interesting case which I remember. There was a student I remember called Pavitra, and how it played. Like Pavitra applied for Masters of Business Administration program, and she applied to one of the leading platforms. I don't want to name it, but she applied to multiple admission platforms. And when she applied there, since that we had a agreement with that particular platform, we realized that she has applied for an MBA program in University A. Then she applied for an MBA program in University B, and then there was a University C. So all these three universities she applied for, I was trying to understand that she doesn't, she that university was not in her native town or in the city of her residence. So I was trying to understand that what is the one factor which is really going to convince her to join the university C, what I'm representing at that moment of time. So I was trying to understand, and eventually I got to know from an. She visited our website where I had placed an AI bot chat. It was a text-based bot chat, and in that text-based bot chat, she entered one keyword, which was very important for me to understand that this is one keyword which she is looking for. And it happened that I catched the keyword in a right way, and then I asked the particular counselor to follow up that prospect with with everything surrounding that keyword. And what happened that she applied for Masters of Business Administration in entrepreneurship. And when it was a matter of entrepreneurship, I entirely tailor made my pitching of the counselors surrounding the entrepreneurship, startup, and everything. And I actually outweighed one of the best NAC A plus plus universities when, and I got that admission to the University C. Though the University C was a young university and the other universities were well established one. So this is where I see AI has played such a beautiful role, where I have outweighed the heavy giants just by using the strategy, which was again derived from board. Because if I didn't have that AI board and I would have not catched that keyword, I would have never got that admission. So this is just the beginning, and then I later did more admissions. I can't say the number, otherwise people will be astonished. So this is one of the examples which I always remember.
Yeah, I think that's great, and like the question is quite relevant to him and not me. So yep, I don't have any instance where like I've seen it, but yeah, in terms of technology implementation, so definitely think I'm seeing that side of it, wherein we can implement things in a way that things can help transform the approach of student recruitment. There's a lot which can be done. It's not only just about like insights, but also understanding maybe behaviors, understanding social media patterns, etc. But the level of our personalization we can go to, that is something which is a question, because we need to understand the value of data privacy, etc. as well. So yeah, there's a solution which is there, but we have to carefully evaluate as well how ethical we have, how much ethical consideration we should be putting into like a reach to that point. So what is the right kind of balance for getting the personalization bit? So definitely I'm seeing it from that lens, and I'm definitely like very amazed with the kind of experience he had.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mr. Dhaval, for sharing that impactful story. And it's clear from your story that AI driven data insights can significantly reshape how institutions approach student recruitment. They can identify trends and personalize outreach in ways that were previously impossible. So, I'm sure that as AI continues to evolve, the ability to make data driven decisions will be a game changer for enhancing both recruitment efficiency and student engagement. Now, moving towards the next question. Also, we would like you to share a personal story where you saw the impact of AI on a student's journey from application to enrollment and how it shaped their experience.
Yeah, definitely. This is something which was not possible few years back, when that there is no human intervention in the admission process, and the entire admission was driven by automation. So whenever we talk about automation of the admission process, it means that there are some AI enabled modules which are always plugged in, so that this admission process ensures a very smooth and very impactful experience for the student. So I will narrate an incident of a student, and she was from Dubai, UA, and she wanted to apply for a Masters of Pharmacy program, and her name was, I can give her name. Her name was Noor Jahan. That was her name, and she was looking for a master's program in pharmacy. And what happened is that when she visited the website of the university which I was presenting at that point of time, she went through the content. Though the website is very nice, very colorful, but she couldn't find the information what she was looking for. And since she was looking for a particular information, where she tried to approach the contact centers, she tries to approach the counselors, and maybe she called more than, I think, 6 times in a week, in a time span of 7 days. So that's something, when we have data insight with us, it really raises a flag. We did created a kind of a mechanism where we used to realize that someone calling 6 times in 7 days is someone who is very much interested about the program, and they really are looking for some information which might not be available or is not accessible to her. So we delved deep into that, and we tried to see that such kind of students should get that information. And when we fixed that thing, trust me, she just that information was plugged in. That information, we understood that students require such kind of information. So once we plugged in through that automation case study, we nearly increased our admissions 1.5 times after doing that exercise, doing nothing extra, just plugging in that information, and the students were able to just land in to the page. They used to get that information, and they used to make a payment in just right in the front, and we used to just see in our dashboard the admissions is done. And we were so much delighted that we didn't spend a single extra money on that. What we did was a reverse engineering, that looking at one case study of a student based on the data analytics what we had, whatever tools and technologies we had 1 or 2 years back. Currently, trust me, it's 100 times better than what we used to have 2 or 3 years back. And we could plug in this kind of things, and thanks to the technologies and tools which are kind of evolving, if we apply in a right way, I think we can increase our number of admissions, and the students also, they really get the kind of information what they are looking for, and in the presentable format what they expect us to deliver. So this is my personal story from my lane of memory, from my bank of memory, which is I still remember how it impacted the entire process.
That's
So
really amazing. Like the kind of like experiences you're sharing across with examples. It's really inspiring, and like it's something which also is giving a food for thought while I'm listening to it, and probably like this might be some things which we might include in our solutions based on that.
yeah, this is about education sector, and I can also share my experience, a similar one in the healthcare, where there was a patient from Thailand who was looking for a particular information, and at that particular time, those kind of websites were not developed. And when we tried to copy one of the websites and those information were placed, that patient really found that information. He traveled all the way from Thailand, though Thailand have better hospitals than India. When it comes to the medical tourism, they have better systems in place. But however, he found out that hospital, and when he went back, he just got operated for 50, well, half of the cost what he used to spend in Thailand, and he went with a lot of good memories, and he referred a lot of patients to India. So these are some of the stories which really should inspire developers like you, and I trust in years and months to come, we will come with more astonishing and inspiring things, particularly in the AI arena, what we talk about.
Yes, Roshali, is go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Dhaval, for sharing that inspiring story. And it's incredible to see that how automation and AI can positively influence both the education and the healthcare sector. And as you talked about the student's journey, like how she struggled for that use case she was looking for, and then getting it through automation. So we can definitely see that the student's journey is moving from a personalized application support to tailor engagement that makes the enrollment process smoother. And as AI continues to enhance student experiences, it's clear that these technologies can truly transform how students connect with institutions and making their journey more seamless and engaging. So let's now transition into a vision forward segment where we'll explore the future possibilities and innovations in admissions and student engagement powered by AI. So, Mr. Dawal, how do you envision AI evolving in the next 5 years to reshape not only the admission process but the entire educational landscape?
So what I feel is that the kind of development what we have in AI, probably in future, I'm going to devise my own digital avatar or AI, and I'm going to feed my own requirements into my AI, and probably my AI will interact with the AI of the university. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to like AI to AI communication. This is the first thing what I look into. The second one is I would definitely look for a virtual environment where I can experience the 360-degree of education, which we fail to get into the classroom chalk and board kind of setup. The third thing is the exhibitions where we are taking currently, we are not able to deliver the kind of experience what the students are looking for in terms of the programs or the kind of the reach of the programs. Like, let me just give an example. If some medical student, they want to really experience how the heart looks, so currently the technology what we have, at least they give a 3D picture, or they can give a certain level of penetration. They can do the dissection into the VR using the VR headset and can learn it. But I really want to see that when there is a live patient and he is having a certain condition in the heart, and we have such kind of technology where in real time the student can see that how the heart is having a particular issue with it, and how the doctors can really fix it. It's something like a predictive treatment, or what we can say is, and I don't feel that it is a distant time. I think in the next 5 years we should be with this kind of technologies where real-time simulations or predictive simulations can come into picture. I'm not that much tech savvy, but I think Mr. Srivastava can throw some insights into that.
Definitely, I think like the kind of wish list you have asked for, and that is our thought process as well. That AI to interactions, creating everything automated, having environment where we can feel. So gamification, I think, is the first step where we can start delivering more personalized content and more personalized in terms of learning. Having said that, also understanding the insights from that process, because the current process of learning is very different. And when we get to the next level of learning, which is through AI based gamification, the kind of inputs and outputs which we'll receive and like process will also be very different, because then the reactions, the perception, what we have got, the students have got, that will be very different. So we have to have systems which can capture those insights at that level, and then process it to understand what should be the type of delivery. So once I think it's a step by step process, wherein we first introduce it as a generic level, do more research on it, do focus group discussions, try to understand the nuances which we are facing, and then keep going ahead with right kind of like milestone based approach, and also understanding at different touch points that okay, this thing worked, this thing didn't work, probably like this kind of experience which is very different for the students. Now they have started reacting to a very different way, maybe psychologically, on an understanding perspective, or maybe from a perspective of learning. So we have to capture all those data points and then work out what can be the next level after that, wherein we can start implementing gamification and a more personalized learning based technology solutions for students, so that they can start getting this out the input in the way, in the format they want. So basically, like if someone prefers more gamified forms, that's fine. Someone prefers more like textual formats, that's fine. If someone wants more videos formats, that's fine. So we have to get to that level. Definitely, a lot of research has to flow, and then the main, I think, getting to a generic solution, and then moving away from that generic solution to spread the wings is the kind of strategy which should be taken forward.
I completely agree with both of you, and thank you for sharing your insights on the future of AI in education. And if I would add to this point, I also believe that in the next 5 years, AI will not only define the admission process but also will create a personalized learning experience that adapt to individual student needs. And it will ultimately transform the entire educational landscape into a more accessible and inclusive space. And thank you for giving the insights on AI to AI conversations, Mr. Dhaval, and gamifications. It is definitely the future of education. So I would like to thank both of you for your valuable contributions to today's panel discussion on the role of AI in reshaping admissions and the education landscape. Your insights have truly enriched our understanding of how technology is transforming student engagement and recruitment. Thank you for the complete panel discussion.
Thank you. The pleasure was mine.
Thank you, Rushali, and thank you, Mr. Dhaval. It was indeed a great pleasure to host you and listen the right kind of pain points, solutions, and possible things which we have to look for into to the future as well.
So all the best to you as a developer, and Ushali, I wish you can bring in more kind of such panel discussions so that we can have a very comprehensive kind of approach towards this.
Definitely looking forward to more panel discussions with you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.